Dogs are social animals just like us. They thrive on interaction and connection. They crave companionship, stimulation, and a sense of belonging. Without these, their emotional health can suffer. And when these needs aren't met, they can experience loneliness, just like humans do. Loneliness in dogs can manifest in various ways, some of which might surprise you. In this video, we're going to explore 10 telltale signs of loneliness in dogs that you should never ignore. These signs can help you understand your dog's emotional state better. By recognizing these signs early on, you can take steps to address your dog's emotional well-being and ensure they live a happy, fulfilled life. Let's get started. Together, we can make a difference in our dogs' lives. Have you noticed your furry friend barking more than usual? It can be quite concerning, especially if it seems to come out of nowhere. It could be a sign of loneliness. Dogs, much like humans, can feel isolated and crave companionship. You see, dogs are natural communicators. They use barks to express a range of emotions, from excitement to fear, and yes, even loneliness. Each bark can mean something different, and it's up to us to understand what they're trying to tell us. When dogs are feeling isolated or crave attention, they might bark excessively as a way to try and get your attention. It's their way of reaching out, hoping you'll notice and respond to their needs. It's their way of saying, "Hey, I'm here, and I need some company." They might be feeling neglected or simply in need of some interaction. Now, before you assume it's just boredom, consider how much quality time you're spending with your dog. Are you engaging with them enough throughout the day? Are they getting enough walks, playtime, and mental stimulation? Physical activity and mental challenges are crucial for a dog's well-being. Remember, a tired dog is a happy dog, and a dog who feels heard and seen is less likely to resort to excessive barking. Ensuring they have enough to do can make a big difference. So, if you're noticing an increase in barking, it's time to evaluate your dog's emotional needs and see if they're getting enough social interaction. Sometimes just a little more attention and care can go a long way in making your furry friend feel loved and content. Discovering chewed-up shoes or furniture? Don't jump to conclusions about your dog being bad. This destructive behavior could be a cry for help, a sign of their loneliness and frustration. Imagine being home alone, day in and out, with pent-up energy and no outlet for your emotions. That's what it can feel like for a lonely dog. They might resort to chewing, digging, or scratching as a way to release that pent-up energy and frustration. It's not about being naughty, it's about coping with an emotional state. So, instead of punishment, focus on understanding. Increase their exercise, provide engaging toys, and most importantly, spend quality time with them. A fulfilled dog is less likely to express their loneliness through destructive behavior. We all love a good nap, and dogs are no exception. Watching them sleep so peacefully can be quite heartwarming. But if you notice your furry friend sleeping more than usual, it might be a sign they're trying to escape loneliness. This change in behavior can be subtle but significant. Think about it. When we're feeling down or lonely, we often seek solace in sleep. It's a natural response to emotional distress. It's a way to escape reality temporarily and shut out the world. For dogs, this can be a coping mechanism to deal with their emotions. Dogs do the same thing. They might retreat to a quiet corner and sleep more to avoid the feelings of loneliness. When they're not getting enough mental or physical stimulation, or when they're feeling isolated and alone, they might sleep more as a way to cope. This behavior can be a sign that they need more engagement. It's their way of passing the time and avoiding the discomfort of loneliness. They might nap frequently to fill the void of inactivity, so if you notice your dog's sleep patterns have changed, take a closer look at their overall well-being. Pay attention to any other changes in their behavior or mood. Are they getting enough exercise, playtime, and social interaction? Ensuring they have a balanced routine can help improve their mental and emotional health. Spend quality time with your dog, engage them in fun activities, and make sure they feel loved and included. This can make a big difference in their overall happiness and reduce excessive sleeping. Food is often a source of joy for our canine companions, but when loneliness sets in, even their favorite treats might lose their appeal. Just like humans, dogs can experience a loss of appetite when they're feeling down or stressed. Loneliness can trigger emotional changes that directly impact their desire to eat. If your usually food-motivated pup is suddenly turning their nose up at mealtime, it's essential to pay attention. It could be a sign that they're not feeling their best emotionally. Before you panic, rule out any underlying medical conditions with a visit to the vet. If everything checks out medically, it's time to consider whether loneliness might be playing a role. We all love a cuddly canine companion, but excessive clinginess can sometimes be a sign of underlying loneliness. Think about it. When we feel insecure or anxious, we often seek comfort in the presence of loved ones. Dogs are no different. If your dog is suddenly glued to your side, following you from room to room, or becoming distressed when you leave their sight, it could be their way of expressing their need for companionship. They're seeking reassurance, security, and a sense of belonging in your presence. It's their way of saying, "Don't leave me alone. I need you here with me." Just like humans, dogs can experience depression, and loneliness is often a contributing factor. Now, canine depression might look different from what we experience, but the signs are there if you know what to look for. A depressed dog might exhibit a lack of energy and enthusiasm, showing little interest in activities they once enjoyed. They might withdraw from social interaction, even with beloved family members. You might notice changes in their sleeping patterns, appetite, and overall demeanor. They might seem sad, withdrawn, and hopeless. Licking is a natural behavior for dogs. It's how they groom themselves, show affection, and even explore their surroundings. But when licking becomes excessive, it can be a sign of underlying stress or anxiety, often linked to loneliness. Think of it as a coping mechanism. When dogs feel lonely, anxious, or bored, they might lick themselves, objects, or even you, excessively as a way to self-soothe and find comfort. It's their way of releasing endorphins, those feel-good chemicals in the brain, to counteract the negative emotions they're experiencing. If you notice your dog licking excessively, it's essential to address the root cause of their stress or anxiety, which could very well be loneliness. Dogs are naturally curious and adventurous, but if your furry friend is constantly trying to escape from your home or yard, it's crucial to take notice. While it could simply be a case of wanderlust, it might also be a sign of loneliness. Think about it. If your dog isn't getting enough mental or physical stimulation at home, or if they're feeling isolated and crave companionship, they might try to escape in search of adventure, social interaction, or even just a change of scenery. It's their way of taking matters into their own paws and seeking out the stimulation and companionship they're lacking in their current environment. We all have our little quirks and habits, but if you notice your dog pacing back and forth restlessly, it's essential to pay attention. While some pacing can be normal, especially in moments of anticipation or excitement, excessive or repetitive pacing can often be a sign of anxiety, boredom, or loneliness. Imagine being stuck in the same place day after day, with nothing to do and no one to interact with. It's enough to make anyone feel restless and anxious. Dogs thrive on routine and structure, but they also need mental and physical stimulation to stay happy and balanced. Dogs communicate with us in a myriad of ways, and vocalizations like whining and howling are key among them. While these sounds can be endearing, they can also be a dog's way of expressing loneliness and distress. Think about it. In the wild, dogs use howls to communicate across distances, often to reunite with their pack. When our domesticated dogs howl or whine excessively, it can be a primal instinct kicking in, a longing for connection and companionship. They might be trying to reach out to you, their pack leader, expressing their need for attention, interaction, or simply your presence. It's their way of saying, "I'm here, I'm feeling a bit lost and alone, and I need you." Recognizing the signs of loneliness in your dog is the first step towards strengthening your bond and ensuring their happiness. Remember, dogs are social creatures who thrive on companionship and mental stimulation. By providing them with ample opportunities for exercise, play, and interaction, both with you and other dogs, you can help alleviate feelings of loneliness and promote their overall well-being. If you've noticed any of the signs we've discussed, don't fret. With a little understanding, patience, and a commitment to meeting your dog's emotional needs, you can create a loving and fulfilling environment where they can truly thrive.